Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. We're going to get going on the webinar now. Today is a very special one. This is a great opportunity for us to explain going from Top Producer 8i over to Top Producer X and a couple of the things you might want to set up to do that. Today, my name is Glenn. I am part of the resolution team and also the onboarding team. I'm basically here to assist you with all your technical needs, and also I do assist with people getting first time into the software. We have a very special team for that where we can actually do one-on-one assistance with you. It is a paid service for special training, but we do get you all taken care of up into the system and working. Assisting you today, and we'll be answering the questions in chat and also sending over some really good links to help you out, is my friend Marvin over from the resolution team. He's actually part of our research group, and he also handles a lot of the MLS work that we do. So if your MLS has been sending information to Top Producer, most likely Marvin's involved in it. So I'm just gonna do my normal microphone check to make sure that y'all can hear me. And I'm gonna hopefully stop saying y'all so many times. I'm actually from Vancouver, Canada, so saying something Southern like that probably sounds weird to anybody who might have a Southern ear. So hopefully I will stop saying that and I won't say a too many times. But with that, we can get going today. Now, if you do have any questions, feel free to ask away. Marvin and I both like to be interactive and talk to people. So there's a couple of things that we're going to go over today, and I'll get you up to speed so you know exactly what's going to happen today. Now, going from one platform that you're used to another, it's always going to be a little anxiety creating. It's going to sit there and you're going to wonder how it works and what's going to be the change. We'd like to make it easier for you and also alleviate some of that anxiety and that stress. So for today, I'm going to go over these 4 items that are going to help you make that switch. The first one, 8i contacts are already in X. We've already got that taken care of. So you won't have to worry about transferring them over. You won't have to export and import. All your information is already there for your contacts. Your closed transactions in 8i, you will want to have that historical reference there, especially when you're continuing your follow-up with your sphere of influence and your closed contacts, or closed property, sorry. To do that, we actually have a one-click transfer. Very simple, you just click it, it will pull all the closed ones, and you can do it multiple times. We're also going to go and look at some of the most important settings that you would want to set up and have ready for you within Top Producer X. Now, this is one of those things where you can set up as much or as little as you want. And the last one, I'm going to go over some tips and tricks for refreshing your marketing templates. There is a little bit of a difference between the technology in Top Producer X and Top Producer 8i, which unfortunately made the transfer of action plans and closing plans and whatnot unable to be transferred directly from 8i to X. So with that in mind, it is a great time to refresh and update them, but I'll also show you quick and easy ways to do it. So first off, yes, this is one of those very quick questions that we get asked right away because it's an update, it's an upgrade. When that happens, there's always that fear of moving from one database to another. And if you're going to have all of your information in there. Well, thankfully with this, Top Producer X was designed to actually read the database that you've already got for your Top Producer 8i. This means all of your contacts are already in the system. And to compare, you can actually log into both Top Producer X and Top Producer 8i at the same time. You'd be able to see everything is in there. And then once they're in there, we got a bunch of tools that you can actually take advantage of now that we didn't have in 8i. I mean, our automated lead response is been redesigned, and it allows you to really quickly reach out, communicate, and talk to those new leads, even if you are in the middle of a showing at the time or helping somebody sign their contracts to finalize their purchase. It has been even designed to the point where you can have it send out a quick text message if you're in the United States, that is. so that they can know that you're going to be able to speak with them. And you'll notice here on the side, in this little image we have here, it says send text within 5 minutes. You're going to be able to set times that things happen. This is a huge upgrade from 8i, where you can just pick a day. So now you can pick the day and the time of the day you send something. So if you're sending out emails, you don't have to send them all at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. You can send for those people that maybe work nights. You can send it later in the day, so, or even in the evening, so you're not interrupting their sleep. With that in mind, you now have access to our email tracking. One of the most requested updates, and also questions that I know I got, and I'm sure Marvin has gotten over the years, is how do I know my emails have gone out and gotten to my clients? Well, unfortunately, 8i, you couldn't do that. You would send the email, then you'd have to go into the contact record, go to the activities and look or check in the email section to see if it actually sent. Now we have the new tracking. This is done by being able to go through our new email host that connects directly to your email provider. You have a Gmail account that's branded for your business. The emails are going to come from that account and be sent through that server. With that in mind, the tracking can then, as you can see, give you some notifications. This means it's been delivered. This actually means it's been read, the green eye with the check mark. And this one here just means it's in the inbox, but hasn't been read. This gives you that opportunity to check, and you can also reach out and say, hey, I sent you an email the other day. Have you had a chance to read it? This may get that communication going and also opens up that line of communications with your clients. Items like that are huge and game breakers or game changers. We don't want to break any games today. We want to change them. So we can do all of this. It's great features, and a lot of these features have been added in based on feedback from you folks. We do take your feedback very seriously, and I know any long-term 8i clients have probably heard those words and probably might have actually chuckled when I said we take your feedback seriously. We are an evolving company, and we have learned. You guys give the best advice, best suggestions, because we can code it, we can make it. We're the geeks that make it and fix it. You're the folks who use it day in and day out. You give us the best suggestions. So like I say, a lot of this came from feedback for you folks. So right off the bat, you now have a platform that is ready to go with all of your data in it right off the bat. And just to show you, this is my test account where you can see I have all these contacts, 936 of them. You'll see all their names are here. If I jump over to Top Producer 8i, I can go into my contacts, contact summary, same people. So there you go. Right off the bat, your contacts are right there. So easy, ready to go. You can just jump in without any differences or changes to anything. The next one, your closed transactions. You guys have worked really hard to maintain these relationships and also to get these transactions taken care of for your clients. You've helped people with their biggest and most important purchase of their lives. You want to have that history. We don't want you to go into Top Producer X and not be able to find that information at all. So again, we've done this in a way that's super easy for you to get it over and into your system. So let me just move my video replay out of the way. Over here on the left, you'll see a button that says transactions. If you click on that, right here, import 8i closings. You just click on this button. It's going to ask, are you sure you want to import your 8i closings? And then of course, it's going to tell you only close paid closings in their notes will be imported. Unfortunately, the tasks will not be pulled over. So that is one minor thing there, I would say, because most of the tasks have already been completed already. Dates, yes, you may want to have them, but Keep in mind, 8i is not going away. We are not in the plans right now and have not made any actual solid date to say this is the day 8i will go away. So you are still going to have all of that information there. So once you get to this, you just click import 8i closing, and you're going to see that it's saying at the bottom, it's started. Now, let's say you still have some close or listings within your top producer 8i that are still not complete. Go ahead and finish them in 8i. No need to recreate them over here in Top Producer X. Go ahead, finish them up, and as soon as they're done, you can press the import button again. Now, you'll notice mine is not available right now. That's because I've initiated a search. The reason it's not available is it's doing a comparison between Top Producer X and Top Producer 8i to see which ones are in both programs. If the search comes up and shows that a closing is in both, it's not going to re-import it. So you're not going to end up with duplicates. That's one of those things that we really worked hard on and double checked and triple checked to make sure that wouldn't happen. You run a clean database as it is. You've got a clean CRM. What would be the point of us messing up that cleanliness? So there you go. You just pull it in and you'll have your contacts here and you'll have your closings. So you now have that history twofold. You have all the information from the past, and now you're ready to really work on the future and get everybody taken care of. And again, I don't think I have any closings in this account because it is my testing account. Yeah, so it's still going to check. That's another thing to say. It can check the account, and if there's no closings, then it's not going to bring anything in. So even if you don't know if the closings are there, they've been there for a while. When you click on it, because of the fact that when you go here, it always starts on either pendings or pending showing or something. If you forget to click all statuses to see all of your closed, you may forget that you've got some there. I know I personally, without hitting all statuses, would forget what I've done. And you guys have been doing this for a long time. You've probably got a lot of closings in there. So just go ahead and click the button and it's going to bring them in. Not a problem at all. So those are a couple of the simple and easy things on the system. I'm wondering if anybody has any questions before we go, because Marvin and I both are ready and willing to answer these for you and make sure you're taken care of. I'll give that a second because I also want to take a drink of my coffee because throat's getting dry. It's the thing with live presentation. Sometimes you just got to take a drink now and then. All right, I'm going to get on to the next part. So settings in Top Producer X are a little bit easier to set up and control than they were in 8i, because they're all in one simple location where you don't disappear from your settings. There are a couple of items that are pretty much ones that I would say as soon as you have a chance to get into X, make these changes and set them up. So I'm going to jump into X again. We're going to go down here to the corner to settings. You can also go up here in the top right where you have it'll either be your image or just a silhouette there. But let's go to settings. The first thing I would do is click on my information here on the left. This here is where you get to put all the pertinent details that are important for your account. Your display name. This is something good that when the account is created, it's going to be under your name first of all and foremost. But let's say you're part of a team and you want it to say the team. So we could always change this to Glenn and Marvin sell homes. So now when I do any marketing at all, it's going to have the display first name of Glenn and Marvin, and the last name is going to say sell homes. So it's almost as if it's a team setup right there. You can put in your agent headshot or your company logo, both of them. Keep in mind, you're going to want to use a JPEG image, and you do want to keep it under 1 megabyte in size. And I know I just threw out a couple of technical terms, so forgive me. JPEG is a standard pictured format for the internet and for most things that you'll save for photos. And 1 megabyte is the file size. So if you look at a photo, it will usually, when you're looking at it in your file folder or wherever you explore your data, it will say the file size. You want it to say less than 1 MB. If it's in less than 1,000 KB, that's even better. KB stands for kilobytes. It's the whole growth model of computers. I'm sorry, I just kind of went a little bit technical there, but that is, it's kind of required because we do have to make sure these happen. If you do try to put in a image that's too large, you're going to get a weird message saying that your internet is not working. What it means is that actually the file is too large. I know Marvin and I both have asked people to get that specific error changed, so hopefully one day it'll be changed soon. We're just working on getting new updates and information in. Since we can explain that error very easily, I will say it's one of those things that we're trying to work on other parts first. Now, address here. I'm very much wanting to say and make sure everybody knows this address is going to be visible on marketing material. So you'll notice it is not a priority item because anything that you have to put in will have a red asterisk by it. Excuse me. Since this is not priority, you don't have to fill it in. However, if you do fill it in, I highly recommend using your office's address. Again, in this day and age, it is a publicly accessible item when you put it out on marketing. We don't want people to have your home address. So definitely put in the business address if you're going to use this section. Phones, again, I don't know why we have home. This is something you can put in there for yourself. But business and mobile, since those are the ones that your clientele are going to have access to anyways, those are the only ones I would really fill in. And again, you'll notice there are no red asterisks, so these are not required. The business one, I would say, is something you definitely want to have there, but it's not really fully required. One of the things that is required, though, is the main email on the account. Now, you may have multiple emails. You may have your main office email. You may have the one that's directly to you. You want to make sure you put the one that's direct to you, the most viewed email address, into the agent email. That's because that's where you're going to have the majority of your marketing is going to say, this is the email to get a hold of me. You can always add the secondary one and it will come up saying company, but you want to have the agent one right away. Websites, again, you can have your specific personal website and your company website. No problems at all, and they will show up on the marketing. Social media links, this will do like if you were to put your Facebook link in here, whenever you send something out that has the information here, it will put the little Facebook icon. So if somebody clicks on it, it'll directly take them to your account. Same with Instagram, LinkedIn, or the other ones we have here, Pinterest, Medium, Twitter, and YouTube. So if you have those, go ahead and fill those in just so you can get the information you need. Company name, the professional info, the company name is a good one to have there. So, you know, you're going to be telling people what company you're with. And then if you have a team motto, definitely throw that in there. It's good to get that out there, and then people are going to see that. License number, I know a lot of states and provinces in Canada here do require you to put it in there. So since it's going to be visible, I highly recommend just filling this in anyways. It is something that's going to help you out and make sure that your information is there. Lastly, if you do put in a specific address above, but you don't want it to display, this button here is usually turned on just to make it easier, saying my display city and state province is the same as my address above. If you click off of it, you can then put in a different city. So you'll notice if I scroll up, I have Blaine, Washington up here because I'm on the west coast of Canada and right above Washington State. But for a test, I put my display city as Ottawa, Ontario, just to try. If I don't want to have it displaying Ottawa, I just go back, turn that off, and now it'll display Blaine, Washington. Branding is your color that you normally have for your business. So let's say your logo colors have a lot of light blue in it. If you click on light blue, it is now going to attach that to all of your marketing materials that you use within Top Producer X. That also includes your Market Snapshot. If you have that software, it will send out the snapshots with the blue on them. And lastly, just to make sure that your calendar stays up to date, you want to, oh, hang on, I don't want to be disturbed by things being asked in that. Sorry. You want to make sure your time zone, your location is set to where you are. Again, as I'm on the Pacific Coast, GMT -8, that's the one I would put on, Pacific time, USA and Canada. As you can see, we have pretty much the whole world covered on the time zones, just like everybody else. So pick the one that best works for you. When you're done, just go ahead and save your info. Another one that's very important that I would highly recommend setting up is your email integration here on the left. The reason to set this up, again, as I mentioned before, with the new way we do emails, instead of going out through a top producer server to get to your clients, the email is created in Top Producer. Even your individual emails and your group emails, they're created, each individual email for each contact that's getting it, same as before, created and then sent to your email provider. So as you can see here, I have a gmail.com email address attached. And this is actually a real email that I have created for my testing purposes. Any emails that I send out of Top Producer X will be sent from our software to the Gmail servers. It'll be processed there and sent to my clients. Again, your clients as well. Once they go, when I check the emails on the client record, I will be able to see if it's been delivered, if it's been read, or even if it's just sitting there in the inbox. As I said at the start, that opens up a brand new way to be able to start a conversation with your clients, see how they're doing, talk to them, and just get everything going and ready for them that way. It is a very much requested and wanted update that we are very glad to offer to you. Now, you'll notice also that it just says connected email accounts. I can connect more than one. You could have 3 or 4 accounts attached here. That way, and this is a real thing that I've spoken to a lot of people, where they have different contacts in their CRM, but they're not all just for real estate. Some of them may be for a different venture that they're working on. So you can put in both your email addresses, and then when you're communicating with your contacts, you can choose which email to send it from. You'll also be able to check to see which emails you've gotten replies to and from for that specific contact. It will, of course, choose this one. Like this is the very first one I've placed into the system. So it will be set as my default email. However, I can change that. If I had more than one in here, when you go to create an email, there is an option to set which one is default. Now, the other part of this, again, using that same example I used before, if you have multiple email accounts, you can have multiple signatures. Now, you can create a signature easily. So you just go to email signatures, choose the email address you want to work with, and click here on the edit email. And you're going to notice I have text, a hyperlink, and a photo. And the photo even has the ability to have a link as well. So you could have your logo here and link it to your website. You can have it so whenever they get there, if they click on your email address, it'll automatically open up an email window to send an email to you. All of this can be done. And the other advantage, if I were to click and just go down, we have this over here where all that time you spent setting up your information in the main page there, I can go here and go agent first name, and it's going to put my name into it. It's as simple as that. You have full control. You can see links here and images. Now, this one here was linked. If I click on this, I can remove the link and break the link. So there you go. So that's one of the quick and easy things and the benefits of having X. In the past, you had that one email address that you could actually send from. Now you have multiples. Lastly, in this section, in the important parts to set up, we have one of the better MLS connections out there. We're able to get a lot of data, and we have worked really hard to create and build that reputation with the MLSs. I can attest, and I know Marvin can attest too, that there's a lot of work that goes in to make sure that we can get the best info from the MLSs for you, so that you're able to also give the best information to your clients. So make sure you go down to MLS credentials, and then you'll see this button for add MLS credentials. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of MLSs that we're connected to. You'll notice some of them are just going to ask for an MLS ID. You can just put that ID in. If you do have problems with getting the ID, feel free to reach out to our support team, because we can always find that. And some of them have special rosters that we can find and get it for you. A lot of times it's just a case of they may have given you a alphanumeric username, and you may have to go all caps or turn off capitals, and it'll still go in. Some of them also have a alpha or letter prefix with a comma in between that and the actual code. Sometimes you just need to get rid of the prefix and the comma or period. Sometimes, most of the time it's a period, sometimes it could be a comma, but most of the time if you take that off, then it'll connect for you. Excuse me. So these are a couple of things that once you've got set up, you've already got 90% of the important setup done for your system. Now you're ready to start working with your clients, get going, and get it all taken care of. And for somebody who has worked on both TPX and 8i, as I said, the settings is right here, and it's all quick and easy to get to. I'm sure all of you are familiar with going into settings here in Top Producer 8i, and then having to jump around all over these places. And then once you open one, it takes you to another place all over the place, and it's not as intuitive. So we also tried to make things easier to use, just because we honestly want you to spend less time having to run your database and get it set up, and more time spending with your clients. The best resource management or relationship management software out there is the one where you don't have to spend 8 hours a day in just to do your job. So those are some of, like I say, the most important settings that you're going to want to have set up for your account. These are easy to take care of, easy to do, and everything we have, our support team is here to help you via chat, which you can get an instant, within about a minute response, or through an email where we're up to about maximum 24. I would say sometimes give it up to 48 hours if you have to. So if it's an important need to know answer, reach out to our chat. They'll get you taken care of really quickly. If it is something that's more of, I need to know this, but I don't need to know it right now, go ahead and send us an email. You're going to get the same quality answer no matter where you go. And it's the same team that we've had for a long time. I'm very happy to say that our support team, we don't have that much turnaround. People stick around a while. So we've got a lot of highly knowledgeable people there ready to help you every day. Monday to Friday, I should say, not every day. Now, this is the one that, save for the end, and one sec. Sorry about that and talking too much. This is one of those ones that we had tried everything we could to make the changeover, but there was a little bit of impossibilities. Now, let me explain when I say impossibilities. Top Producer X and Top Producer 8i both use different code. The 8i code is a solid code that's been around for, heck, almost 20 years now. The thing is, though, that code that was designed back then, maybe it was a workhorse, but it's not compatible with today's code, which means a lot of the items aren't able to just transfer over. Newer code does not like the way things were designed back then. And yes, I do know that I'm going a little technical here, but there is a reason for that. It is the reason why we can't just hit one button and pull marketing templates and plans over into X. Believe me, our team tried. They looked for every possible avenue. the communication didn't pull them in properly, and it would ruin a lot of hard work. Now, this could look like a downside. However, we always like to try to look at the positive of things. You have in your system, you may have some very well-crafted and well-designed templates and emails and letters that you've been using for the last few years. Every now and then, though, and I'm sure a lot of you have done this, and you'll understand where I'm coming from, you want to update your verbiage. You also want to update your images and what you have on everything that you've created. The reason for this is times have changed. I mean, 3 years ago, I'd be in a studio in our office doing this webinar. Now, as you can probably tell from my backdrop, I'm in my basement at home. We work from home. A lot of people work from home now. It's such a massive change to the way things are done. There's also new words that we use. I know the kids, the younger generation nowadays, I shouldn't say kids, I just sound old when I say that, but the younger generation has different ways of expressing things. Keeping in touch with that generation, you may want to look at different verbiage and different ways of speaking. I know I've had to change some of my habits and some of my verbiage over the years because of that as well myself. So it's an opportunity. Now you can reintroduce your plans, but you can reintroduce them for the new world. You'll be able to even create within Top Producer X texting templates that you can use. So when you are texting your clients from within the software, you can have a message that if you use often, you can resend it to your clients. You can send it to different clients all over the place. Sorry, you can send it to different clients without having to retype it. That's the words I was looking for. This way, everything is there in one step. Now, I'm not going to just leave you hanging like that and say that's what you have to do. Let me go over to my Top Producer X, and we have marketing here. Now, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this one because it is a little bit more of a item that needs to have more attention to it. So if you do have questions on the other things, please feel free to ask. Marvin or I can answer them. But this one, I want to show a little bit more detail. So in Top Producer X, you go to your marketing. You'll notice along the top, we have different items. So market snapshots, listing alerts, and then template library. Now, here's all my templates in one place for all of my emails. If I jump over to Top Producer, 8i, you had to go hover over marketing or click on marketing, and then you would get here, and then you would go to your email library, and then you would have to go over here and go through all of your different categories to find the one you were looking for. We have simplified that. It's in one place. Emails are here. Texting are here as well. You can add stuff from our library, which is here, or you can even create your own. Again, and those of you who are used to using merge codes in 8i, they're right here. Now, it does say template, but if you click on it, here's the first name merge code. This will add a texting template where when I text out, let's say I was sending a text to Marvin, it would, instead of saying contact.primaryperson.firstname, it's going to say Marvin. It's just the same as it was in 8i. It's just a little bit of a different location to do things and a different way to do it. But we have, as I mentioned, streamlined it. You're just clicking in one or two spots. One click to go to marketing, one click to go to template library, one click to go to add from scratch. That changes from a hover and a click, another click to find, and then finally another click to open it up, and then you got to click to edit. Much easier, simplified, in one place, ready and waiting for you. The other part, I'm sure you're all used to hovering over a calendar, going to Plans Manager, looking for your action plans, listing plans, closing plans, your personal ones, the system generated ones are your favorites. In Top Producer X, click Marketing, click Task Plan Manager. Here are all of my task plans. And we also do know that in 8i, we had a lot of action plans in there. I mean, there's no getting around that. There was a lot, many had been added over the years. Now, we don't start off with that many in the system. And if you want to see which ones are available that aren't showing up here, just click on Browse Templates over here. It'll bring you to here, and then you have task plan templates. Click in this area and it'll give you a drop down. Now you can see exactly what type of template you want and what type of plan you want. So as before, you can take one of our plans, save it, and customize it. So let's say you have a lead who isn't responding to your emails, isn't responding to your texts or your phone calls. You can then set this plan up and set it to go over the next 28 days. But let's say you want to customize it a bit. You just click on this button here that says Customize. So I'm going to create it from the template. Non-responsive lead plan templates already attached. If I have my own templates I want to use, then I wouldn't attach these. But for sake of argument, we're going to use this. But I do want to rename it Lens Copy. Now you're noticing up here where it says choose a template, just like in 8i, it's creating a copy of these for me. So then I just go ahead and save the plan. Now I can, as before, add tasks. I can even print out the plan so I can see what all is involved with this specific plan. But let's say I want to add a task on the plan start date. I want to remind myself to check history of this client just to see if anything has in the past happened and what could have caused the lack of communication. So look into history, see what we did before. Simple as that. Then I save the task and you'll notice it has the different days. These can all be set for different dates as we did in Top Producer 8i. And if I were to add a task, I can actually have it go after a previous task and select the previous task, just as I did. So I can do the check on the history and then call to catch up. So again, you still have the cascading action plans as we did before. We just have them as task plans. You can add a different day. So let's add a task 3 days after plans start to update social or update contact record, just to maybe change to a future client in pipeline. And I'm doing just basic quick things here because these are things that you can do. Now, this is just how you would create one off the bat. So once you're done, it's done. It's all taken care of. We can click here. Now, for the real meat of the situation, you want to be able to have the ones you've created over into Top Producer. So I'm going to really quickly, or from Top Producer 8i to X. Let's go here. We've got the information here, and you'll notice I'm in both programs at the same time. I'm going to add a plan. I'm not going to create from template. I'm going to call it contact and simple lead conversion plan with 5-suite. Same name I had prior. Copied from TP8i. So here you have it. You can now edit the plan details. So this information that I created, you can edit, or you can add a task. So let's see over here. The first task I have 0 days from starting date. Send a market snapshot to a new lead. Over here, so to do, send market snapshot. Oops, if I spell right, to new lead. And same thing, 0 days after plan start. Save task. Now, let's say I have on this specific plan emails. So right here, follow up email number 1. I can go to template preview over here. Oh, I have to, let me do that again and allow pop-ups. Sorry about that. So template preview. Okay. I'm going to be honest here. My account gets beat on a lot. So I've broken quite a few things. So I should have looked at a better plan for this, for what we're doing. But you can still grab a template. So let me go over to any template. Just grab a template. I'm going to open this up in a new tab. Email, new test. I'll just grab this one off the top. So I can then copy this, go back to my TPX, template library, and sorry, template library, add from scratch, paste this in. I'm going to name this one. I'm going to call it follow-up email 1, just as it was in Top Producer 8i. I'm going to put this into other, just so it's there. Then I'm going to look for the subject, the plan activity subject before. What did I have the subject as? This is horrible. I didn't have a subject for this one in my own previous one. So let's just call it email subject. Reaching out to see how you are doing. And then you'll notice I have it here checked off that my signature will be appended automatically to your email. And then I just save this template. And now I go back to my task plan manager. I'm going to click on this simple lead conversion plan. And I'm going to add a task, an email task right here, email. Plan activity, description, follow up email 1. Follow up email 1. This was supposed to go out 3 days after the plan start. 3 days. This was high priority. I like to make sure that it went out every time. High priority. And then down here, just as before, you can grab your template. We go down and you'll see it has some of my personal ones. It has a lot of other ones in system, personal, other, test, right there. Actually, I think it was not that one. It was, what did I call that one? Follow up email 1. Save task. And as you can see, it's now showing the line of how it goes. So yes, I'm going to admit it's not ideal. It's not the perfect route to do. And I honestly, from Top Producer here, I want to say we did try. I wish there could have been a better way to do it. However, because of the fact that you can have both open, and realistically right now, I'm sitting in front of a setup with multiple monitors. And I know, well, I'm not 100% sure on this, but a lot of people would have multiple monitors. You also have, especially with Windows 11, the ability to just grab and choose where you want to have specific tabs or windows. So you can have both open up at the same time. So you can copy from one side and paste from one side without having to do the clicking around like I was having to do up here. So again, that is not the ideal situation, but think of it realistically as it is a chance to rearrange them, reorganize them, and recreate your marketing. Get it up to date, get more interest, get not more interesting, but more relevant information to today's changing world. Everything changes, it seems every day there's something new. So it is a good idea to make those changes and make sure everything's set up and you're set up for success. End of the day, that's what's important. So let me see. So that was everything we had to go over today. I really appreciate everybody giving me this 3/4 of an hour of your day. But I just want to make sure that I reiterate a couple of these things because really it is that easy to move from 8i to X. Your contacts are already there. The most important people, the ones that you need to reach out to follow up with and to communicate with, They're already there. You can easily get to them just by one click. And one thing, everybody who's an 8i, you'll notice the TPX icon up here. You just click on that. Here, I'm going to close this one. I click on TPX. There I am. I'm in my contacts. I'm in my account. I don't have anybody new, but you folks will see it there. Next thing, you have your closed transactions with just a click. They're all there. They're all easy to access. And like I say, you can do it multiple times. Transactions here, click on it and import. And as you can see, mine's still making sure there's no duplicates going to be processed. Your settings, again, take your time, work on those at your own pace, set everything up just the way you want it and with the right amount of information that you want to share. And lastly, the templates. Again, as we've said, and I hope we haven't oversaid it, it's a great time to refresh your marketing for 2023. Great time to come up with new ways to catch people's eye and to have that, as we all know, call to action that the client will see and actually start doing something. And also remember, you are the expert that's helped them in the past. You can go and get anything you need to get taken care of. Let me bring up, I do see, thank you, Marvin, for that one question. Diane, I see, where can we get info about the fee for service if we need? So let me go over to topproducer.com and pricing. So if you go to our topproducer.com/pricing page, you scroll down, we have this section called our onboarding. You click on view onboarding options. And here you go. Now we are trying to offer a couple more things. We found out that people who go through this with our team, the one-on-one is really good, really helps them. And a lot of people are finding that it's actually making the software make more sense and work with them easier. So we're going to make this even better and give you a better experience. But you can see here on the onboarding page, and I'm going to just copy and paste that right there. You can go there and even talk to one of our sales reps. You can request a consultation right here, or even call 1-833-387-1911. And they'll make sure you get the best options for your needs. But we are here to help. Like I say, I do some of the onboarding. So I actually have a couple of meetings today where I get to help people out. We will do what we can for you. Marvin, let's see about getting we'll set up a call out for you, Diane. We'll have somebody reach out to you to let you go over this. And that way we can get that taken care of. Oh, I'm sorry, Susan, was my audio should have been working better. I didn't realize that it was anybody else having it break up on them? Okay. Okay, I was sorry about that, Susan. We will have it up on YouTube later. So you can always, every one of our videos, we always share to YouTube afterwards. So hopefully that'll help. And you can always, like I say, go back to it at any time. Now, one question we have, everybody always says, this sounds great, but I need this. So as I said before, we are listening. We are getting there, and we are getting more and more features into the software based on your feedback. So again, I'm going to click on Top Producer X. We have this button here called feedback. If you click on that, now again, as I've said, my account has been beat up, so it doesn't always work. But if you click on feedback, it will open up another tab that will actually take you to where we can get feedback. You'll be able to send the information to us. Our developers look at this weekly, if not a couple of times a week. There are meetings weekly, if not a couple of times a week, to find out what the most requested and needed issues are. So please make sure you use that and let us know. Excuse me. So some frequently asked questions that we get often. Is there a cost to upgrade to X? Not at all. It is part of your package. If any of you who have been around since the 6i or 7i days when the changes and the upgrades happen, it's just an upgrade. It's a new version. It's the next generation. X is going to have as a lot of things that are coming down the road. A lot of them are new features. A lot of them are recreations of old features. They're going to be there. And that goes into the next question. Do I have to stop using classic 8i version? Not at all. You can use the one that works best for you. And you'll notice X is going to have a lot of things being added to it in the future that maybe eventually, if you are an old school 8i user, you may decide X is going to be easier for you to use and get you taken care of much better. Finally, what's not in X that's in 8i? There's a couple of things. The main ones I would say, and this has become one where we've asked the developers to adjust. End of the year is always what we like to call here at Top Producer label season. Labels are something that you can only do through 8i right now, plus letters or other printed media for that. So if you do send letters to your clients and do need the labels, you would still need to use the 8i software. We have explained to the developers that there are still people that do work in the real world. They don't just do everything via the internet. So that is something that they're looking into, and we hope to have it soon. Yes, that is one of the ones that's also missing, Diane. Thank you for asking that question. What about export? I do labels in Word with an export. So right now, exporting is still able to be done through 8i, and it's not an X. Now, again, keep in mind, the database is the same across both. Andrew, your question just kind of caught me off guard. I understand TP8i is no longer available on our phones. It's still available. You can still go to topproducer.8i.com, and I can actually show you, if I go here, topproducer8i.com/m. This is the sign in for the mobile page. You saw me type it. I went there directly. Just do that again on your browser on your mobile device. You can still get into 8i. We actually have a really cool, actually, yeah, that's a better link there. Thanks, Marvin. We do have a new version coming, a new mobile site for Top Producer X. We did find some issues with it, so we didn't want to release it broken. One thing we're doing everything in our power to avoid is sending you bad software. So we're hoping to have the Top Producer X version out soon. It will be the same as the 8i version where it was a mobile website. So you don't have to worry about filling up your phone with all of the extra data that comes in from an MLS, or not from an MLS, from a CRM. And you also don't have to worry about the limitations of apps. One thing that makes an app less desirable is the fact there are certain limitations to what can and can't be done. Whereas a mobile site, mobile designed website actually has the same functionality as a regular website, just scaled down for your mobile device. So we should be having that out soon. Again, we just want to have it absolutely perfect for you. One place, a couple of places you'll see it. We have on the main Top Producer 8i, we have up here where it has an announcement page. I'm quite confident that when the Top Producer X mobile version is out, it's going to be advertised here. And within Top Producer X, our what's new page right here, which I'm going to see. Yeah, this one works. Thankfully, I haven't broken that yet. Remind me to reset this account, Marvin. I've broken it way too much. But you'll see here, you can see the information that we've done, what we've done recently, and what's coming soon. Future releases. Mobile support is one of the top ones. You will notice that a lot of times it will say number of bug fixes and improvements. Though something on the outside and the front doesn't always get updated, a lot of times it's stability improvements, speed improvements, and even just quality of life improvements that we do in the background. So even though it may look like things aren't being done, there's always work being done on the system. So the next thing, every now and then there's going to be times you need some help. But our team is here to help you. If you go to topproducer.com/campus, and I'm going to go there just to have it available. You'll notice when I put it in there, we can also go through support.topproducer.com. Either website link will take you over. Click on chat now here, or even the little icon down in the bottom right, and you can instantly connect with one of our support agents. Now, if you want to have a chance to, like I say, if it's something that's not time critical, go ahead and email us at support@topproducer.com. And I did notice a question earlier about ability to see what we have and what's going on. Topproducer.com/campus, which is what this is, the support.topproducer.com. Need to update this slide, don't we, Marvin? Go over to support.topproducer.com. You can get getting started guides, how-to guides, and even our video library. And again, like I say, chat now. You'll notice it's got all of our different programs, and you can get to a specific area. Account help, how to reset your password. And also, for those of you who like our webinars and enjoy coming to them, because hopefully they're giving you the information you need, you can go up here to webinar schedule. You can see which ones we have. Like next week, we've got a getting started and a 4 things you'll want to know after you set up Top Producer X. These are things that you can check out anytime. And we are happy to have you and happy to help you out. And you can also sign up anytime. It'll again take you to this. You click on the one you want and then just register. And we'll be happy to have you. So hopefully that has been a nice little experience into how Top Producer X will work with you, even if you are a Top Producer 8i user. I do thank you for the questions. I do hope that Marvin and I have been able to answer them and get you taken care of. And again, if there was audio problems, we will have this uploaded to YouTube later. And that should hopefully alleviate any of that. And the recording should have a better audio. I will always say that it's something on my end if the audio isn't good, because it's not unusual for things like that to happen. It's a live video. Things can happen in live TV and live webinars. So again, I have successfully kept this under 1 hour. I really appreciate everybody who has stuck around for the hour. I appreciate your questions and everything. And really, we are here to help you. We want to make your life better. When you have a chance, reach out to our support team or reach out to us during these webinars, and we'll do everything we can to help you. If there aren't any other questions, I think we're going to close it down for the day. We thank you very much for coming in. On behalf of myself and Marvin, thanks for joining us today, and we really hope you have a great day. Everybody take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.